I want to hear about it.
A woman is more attracted to a man who gives a little bit of mystery. So let me give you an example. Let's imagine we're on a date. You say, what's your job? And I say, I look after my people. That's my job. The point I'm making is the story you're going to construct in your head is actually going to be more interesting to you than the truth. Looks after his people. What does that even mean? And it's going to be more interesting to you. When you watch a horror movie, what scares you is not the ghost that's on the screen. It's the thing you don't see. That's how human mind works. A degree of mystery is extremely intriguing to the human mind.
Gentlemen, mystery is magnetic. Always has been. When a man reveals everything up front, he becomes predictable, and predictability kills attraction. But when he drops just enough to spark curiosity, her mind runs wild, crafting the story. That unknown, it pulls her in. Real ones know it ain't about lying, it's about letting her wonder. That's the game. Ace it.
What really makes a man high value is a really high level of self-esteem, and self-esteem simply comes from self-respect. What self-respect looks like is doing what's best for you, even if you want to give in to your current desires. And what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, this woman is fantastic and she's great sex, but you know she's dangerous, you know she's chaotic. The man that can't walk away from that woman and hyper attaches to her is automatically low value, because he has allowed one desire to dictate all his behavior. High value men can suppress some of their current desires for their long-term vision of themselves. They have the ability to practice self-control in different areas of their life.
Self-esteem is the backbone of a high-value man, period. Without it, you're just chasing dopamine hits, letting people and desires control you like a puppet. Real self-respect is about saying no when it's hard, walking away from chaos and choosing discipline over impulse. High self-esteem builds boundaries, focus, strength, and that's what separates a king from a clown.
These are 3 things you must do to become a high-value man. Number 1, taking full responsibility of your life. Nobody's keeping you accountable. You're told that you can live in your feelings like a child and that it's always going to be okay. It won't. You have to take responsibility for where you are as a man. Nobody else can ultimately change your life. Number 2, be as well-rounded as possible. The man who's more well-rounded, the man who's fashionable, smells good, in great shape, has all these things going for himself, is a man that women find hard to replace. And lastly, number 3, take care of your family. You owe it to your mom and dad to get them out of poverty. You owe it to them because they didn't have the opportunities that you have. You should take advantage of this, become the best man you can, and bring your family out of poverty so they can enjoy a better life, all thanks to you.
Aim to be great at whatever it is that you choose to do, and you'll become a high-value man.
Here are the 6 signs of a top-tier man. Are y'all ready? Let's get into it, family. Number 1, he's disciplined. And I mean disciplined in all areas. Number 2, secure within himself, without the crutches. Crutches being money, status, or looks. This type of man's security is built on him as a person, not the money and the status. This man still had a rotation. Although he's built an empire for himself, the empire doesn't make him. He made the empire. Number 3, morals, character, and integrity. A man of God, a man who lives by a certain code, a man who holds himself accountable, a man who's considerate, a man of his word. Number 4, relentless ambition. Man who's resilient, not afraid of taking risks. He does not let failure stop him. Instead failures and losses, this type of man uses that as fuel. Fuel to motivate him to go even harder. Number 5, a humble confidence. Confidence to know exactly who he is and know his worth. Humble enough to know that there's always another level. Coachable, knowing that there's always an area to improve. Number 6, a good leader. A man who leads his own life well, uses wisdom, and demonstrates the capacity and the ability to lead another life well.
This right here is the real blueprint. Not flashy nonsense or fake flexing, just raw masculine strength rooted in character. A top-tier man isn't defined by his wallet or jawline. He's a disciplined, God-fearing, resilient leader who creates value, with or without applause. He doesn't need validation because his mission is validation. Men, study this list, then live it.
When you think of high value man, that term is, it's rising in popularity. You think of men who are successful, in shape, confident, good with women. They live in some nice city apartments and everything, right? I think you can achieve that in a few years, but with one caveat. You have to be willing to sacrifice that dopamine that you get from the 1 hour of video games per week. That you're sure that you only play 1 hour per week when objectively it's more like 6. If you're from the UK, then you've got to be willing to sacrifice those binge drinking nights with your friends. You've got to be willing to sacrifice a lot of things, and a lot of people aren't.
This is the cold truth most dudes dodge. Becoming a high-value man isn't about some Instagram aesthetics or fake confidence. It's about sacrifice. Real talk. You want the status, the money, the respect. Then drop the distractions. Cut the hours wasted on games, junk food, useless parties, and porn. Most men won't do it. That's why most men stay average. If you're not sacrificing, you're not leveling up. Simple.
We have to get out of this idea that if we just give enough, someone is going to respect us, they're going to value us, they're going to have a wake-up call. What makes someone value something is when they realize that they can't, it's not just a given, that they do have to show up in a certain way to keep getting that.
Never, ever be the only one giving. The right person will pour into your cup the same way you do to theirs. We should treat each other like this, with all of our relationships. The golden rule for any high-value man.
Does she really do anything for you? Like, I'm a big believer in men being protectors, providers, all that stuff, right? But a lot of dudes, they get so caught up in that role that they don't realize she does nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? She's just there taking. And you're just happy to be in her presence that you don't realize she's a liability, not an asset. Now, doing something for you doesn't mean she got to be spending money on you or, whatever. I don't view it that way. But what does she pour into you that makes life better? It could just be she knows how to handle you and make things more peaceful around you. You know what I'm saying? She knows how to talk to you. She knows how to inspire you. Whatever it is, does she have value that she adds? Because if not, nothing else matters.
Fellas, reflect on this every morning, and every night we all get caught up with some female who is more of a liability than an asset. And hopefully you cut her off before you make a mistake like getting her pregnant or marrying her. Because a high-value man will never settle with a liability.
I saw a really interesting study once that was it had testosterone level, and it was linked to your capability to disagree with people. The higher your testosterone level, the more likely you are to disagree, because at a baseline level, back before we were more civilized than we are today, if you disagreed with someone, you had to fight him.
Interesting.
You had to fight that man. For you to sit and say you are wrong, there had to be a possibility of violence. If you didn't have the capability for violence, you didn't say they were wrong. You just agreed with stuff, right? So they don't want men who are standing up and saying, I don't believe in X. They want to reduce our testosterone levels to our eunuchs, so that we sit and say, well, I may not agree with it, but what can I really do about it? It is what it is. And then they have absolute control.
A bold commentary, tying masculinity to resistance and passivity to control. The idea is simple but powerful. When men have higher testosterone and therefore stronger wills, they're less likely to just fall in line. The claim is that suppressing that natural assertiveness makes society easier to control. Whether or not you buy the science, the takeaway here is clear. A weak man is easier to silence, and that's not what we call a high-value man.
Very difficult to try and achieve status as a man. It's not easy to stand out from the crowd, because the only way to truly achieve individuality is usually a long, difficult road. It's difficult for a young man to even have all these things.
For men, status isn't handed out, it's earned through relentless effort, discipline, and sacrifice. The road to standing out is brutal, especially today, when competition is global and expectations are sky high. Nobody's giving you a medal just for showing up. You either build your value through sweat and scars or get swallowed by the crowd. That's the truth. To start becoming a high-value man today, ditch comfort and commit to growth. Focus on discipline, build self-respect through consistent action, and cut out time-wasting habits like excessive gaming or social media or porn. Hit the gym, sharpen your mind, control your urges, and develop leadership. Real value comes from what you build, physically, financially, and mentally. Earn your respect. Thanks for watching Manhood. If you want access to exclusive episodes and want to support the channel, hit that join button and become a member. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if it hit home. Drop your stories and thoughts in the comments. We read everyone. See you tomorrow.